too in depth of it. The first 3 episodes have come out. The 4th episode, as of today, is coming out. And so far, it's all right. If you enjoyed the Batman series, I hear this is kind of like a bridge. Really, I think it's what happened after the explosions that went off, that the Riddler set off, and what's the state of Gotham right now, and where's the underworld at, where is it moving towards, and it kind of answers those behind the scenes questions of what's going on with the underworld and the smaller people and such. The reason I say it's good and it's passing and I like it is because it does a great job at showing empathy. Now, empathy is super important for the show like this because you have a character who isn't likable, who's actually a pretty bad person. And whenever we have shows like this, we have like Breaking Bad, we also have I can't remember, like The Godfather or some other gangster shows, like Sopranos, for example. These shows are examples of like taking a bad person and making them understandable. And I think that's what's important about empathy and sympathy, because empathy is all about getting you to understand this person's truth. And we see a lot of things about the Penguin, but none of it is things that make you want to kind of, I guess, be on his side or root for him. That's not true. That's not true. Because you do want to root for the Penguin. The Penguin is someone that you want to root for. We root for him. We're on his side because we understand his truth. And that's really what you have to do in shows like these. In shows like these where the person isn't a paragon of justice and good morals, you want to understand their truth and you want to be able to know why they're doing what they're doing. And this show captures that really well. What I think this show has a problem is it doesn't really do a great job at, I guess, giving us like new tropes. There's a lot of tropes. Old tropes are going through it. And these tropes don't do a good job at showing us the truth between the characters. So, for example, this latest episode 3 that just happened, we had to see the truth for Victor. We got to see kind of the end of the Batman movie, what it looked like for him, and we also got to see what he wants in life and what those things matter to him, kind of his wants and desires. But to me, it's not really being portrayed fully. So when he makes a decision, when Victor, I'm going to call him Vic for now, when Vic makes a decision, the weight of the decision isn't felt that much because it's less about the truth and more about sympathy. So we know that the weight of his truth isn't much, is bad, is down. And it's down because we just know we're supposed to agree with them, and not so much that we're feeling and understanding what he feels. And so whenever it does come to a choice for him, though, I will say that they have been a really good job at false choices. And what do I mean by false choices? Well, the idea of false choices is that where you have to choose between saving the girl or saving the city. When the Green Goblin shows up and he goes, Spider-Man, choose the woman you love. And, he chooses both, right? Because he can't save both of them physically, but then the twist is that New York comes in and helps out Spider-Man. So the idea of a false choice is that it's obvious what the character should choose. And if it feels obvious what they're going to choose, that means that the writing for the story isn't compelling enough. So that's what I would call a false choice. And I do feel like there is kind of this predictable nature to what's going on in the show, because you just know, oh, this has to work out for the character, or this has to go the way it needs to go. So there feels like there's a lot of false choices or false narrative that doesn't make it any less entertaining. And I think the Penguin's doing a great job of what's going on right now. As for, like, I don't know how the show's doing, like, critically. Let's see. So it looks like right now, yeah. I probably should have said what I thought about it. I think it's a little less than this. I was thinking like the show's like at like a 7 for me right now. It's at a 94/89. Well deserving of it. This is just my first impressions of those things, and the reason it's doing so good is because, yeah, it's giving you everything you want. My biggest thing that I don't like about it is the false choice thing that I talked about, where you can predict the narrative. Does this mean things need to be predictable? No. How's it doing on Metacritic? Penguin Metacritic. Okay, so Metacritic is a little bit more towards how I'm feeling. It looks like the general score is 7.2, universal acclaim 8.1. So Metacritic is a little more around that 7 score that I'm kind of at, where it's good. Again, these are just the first 3 episodes. We're just getting to understand the world and everything about it. So of course I'm gonna think it's where it's at right now. This might change based how things go up. I don't really think that these episodes need to be an hour long. And I think that's another thing, is these episodes feel long. Like, they don't need to be an hour. I think you can cut them down 45 minutes to even 30 minutes, and you can get a lot in. They may feel much more faster paced. They may feel like, oh, well, that feels too fast. Those characters are changing in a way that doesn't make sense. So I think that they are finding a balance in those moments where, like, characters have these strong interactions with each other and the actors are allowed to flex. However, there are some times where it's like characters are yelling at one another and saying things, and then it all kind of just turns into something else, or it turns into something that, like, doesn't matter in the next episode. I don't think this happens a lot. For me, there was just this one moment of where, well, I guess she goes back to jail at some point. There's this one moment where you have the Hangman yelling at the Penguin, and she's kind of calling him out for what he is, but it doesn't come back. And I think it's because he's gained her trust, but it just feels like those moments are lost within how the story's written sometimes. Like, we slow burn some moments, and then we push past other moments. There's a lot of moments where characters are talking about themselves and giving exposition, but it's not really into the development of progressing the plot. It's in the development of, like, letting the characters understand, or letting the audience understand the characters. But so far, the show's good. If you're excited about the new Batman film, let me know, and let's see what more has to offer. I'll probably do a full review on it whenever the show is done. So until next time, guys, play nice.